I realized that a lot of the stuff that I was panicking about and sad about was stuff that I never had control over in the first place. I also have a question someone sent in this week that I want to keep doing questions of the week, or questions of the day, questions of the video. I don't know if these videos are going to be out every week. I don't know if they're going to be out daily. Who knows? I post when the inspiration strikes me. But anyway, I have a question of the day, and if you have any questions you want me to answer, comment them so I can answer it maybe in the next video or the next couple of videos. But today's question is, I've been through so much trauma in the last 5 years that I struggle to find hope for the future. I seem to have adopted somewhat of a pessimistic perspective, and I've never been like this before, and it's not changing. Has it changed forever, or can I go back to being happy, is the question. So this person has been through a lot of trauma, and they're really, really depressed. They're very pessimistic, they're very angry, I'm thinking, by just saying pessimistic perspective. And they've never felt like this before, and they don't feel like it's changing, and they want to know how to have hope, how to get happy, or if they even can. And I think this is a very fitting question for this time, because we're in kind of unprecedented times for a lot of us. And I'm just gonna share what I know from my experience and give advice from what I know from my experience, because as a teenager into my very early 20s, I was probably the most angry person that I ever met. I was not happy. I was really, really depressed. I hated everybody. I hated the world. I hated myself. I didn't like anything. And I was able to move out of that, because now I would consider myself actually pretty optimistic. And a lot of people say that I'm really good at looking on the bright side of things. And that took a lot of time. And that took a lot of effort. And it took a lot of dedication to kind of pulling myself out of that. Yes, you can get happy again. Yes, there is hope for the future. What are a few things that you can do to help yourself? I like to remind myself of things that are happening for me that are positive, that are tangible. So I know a few weeks ago I was feeling really, really down, probably the worst that I've felt in a few months. And I think it was just the dealing with everything that was happening in the world, and just kind of it all came to a head because I totally tried to sweep it under the rug that there was this big, crazy pandemic happening. And I tried to pretend everything was fine. And I tried to play the positive person and, you know, happy-go-lucky me. And it totally caught up with me, and I burnt out really fast, and it felt horrible. So what I had to do was list things that were positive for me in that day or in that moment, and they weren't huge things. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. That day it was, all right, like I had coffee with my dad and we had a great conversation. I got to go see the sunrise that morning. I get to see my boyfriend later on, like different tiny things that, or it could even be like, I get to go to my job today and I get to make a paycheck at the end of the week, because some people aren't even that lucky. And just kind of bringing little things that I take for granted a lot and that I don't appreciate as much. I just took the time to write down what I could appreciate. And that, for me, doing that and doing that practice, I had to do that type of practice every single day for about 6 months to a year before I really started being like happy, when I was a few years ago when I was not the happiest person. So that's one thing that I did, and that's one thing that helps a lot. Also, something that you can do is dive into your sad feelings for a little bit and allow yourself to feel them, because if you're hiding the fact that you're sad, but you know you're still sad, you still get that little bit of like Debbie Downer, pessimistic mentality, and it kind of builds all day. But if you let yourself feel what you're feeling and acknowledge why you're feeling what you're feeling, that can help you move through it a lot faster, because you're acknowledging like, okay, let's say for me a few weeks ago, I'm really upset because everything feels like it's changing and I feel like I have no control over anything and I don't know when it's gonna change. And I started listing a bunch of things that I had no control over. And I realized that a lot of the stuff that I was panicking about and sad about was stuff that I never had control over in the first place. So then I took time to, okay, so I'm very upset about my lack of control. What do I have control over right now? And then I took steps to feel more in control of what I was doing that day. I have control over what I get to do right now. I was at work. Okay, let me get a job done. Let me feel accomplished for a second. Let me answer some emails. Let me be productive, because being productive for me helps me feel very in control. Let me get a workout in after work. Let me get those endorphins going because it feels awesome. Let me cook myself a really nice dinner that is full of nutrients because maybe I've been neglecting myself in that way. Like, little things that you can start acknowledging that you need to start doing or that you can start doing to just feel a little more accomplished can help a lot. And another thing is to talk it out. Never feel like you can't get help from someone. If it's not professional help, then don't be afraid to talk to a friend or reach out to someone in some way to talk out what you're feeling. And if you can't do that, write it down. Again, it's crazy how much a conversation can help you realize what you're going through and help you move through it faster. And your friends or whoever you reach out to might have some really good advice for you moving forward. So yeah, I was never an optimist before I started working on myself. I was the opposite. I was like I said, angry, mad, pessimist, mean. I was mean. I have to come by it honestly. And I don't think I'm that way now. But I was. And that's honestly not the worst thing in the world. And I was able to move out of it. And I know that if I can go through the dark times that I went through, I'm sure other people can too. And I'm there with you. And I am hoping that you can do whatever you need to do to take the steps to start feeling a little hopeful every day. It's baby steps. It might not be an overnight process for you. It might take a little bit of watering, a little bit of TLC. You'll get there, I promise. So I hope that this video has helped you or inspired you or given you some sort of insight. And if you have ideas for new videos that I can do or new topics I can cover for you or any questions you want me to answer in question of the day or week or whatever it's gonna be, please comment them and be sure to share this with people if you feel like it could help someone, or hit the subscribe button, whatever you want to do. It doesn't matter to me. And I will see you guys at the next video. See you later. Love you.